Well, good morning again. We made it to day 3. It is January 3rd, 2020. And I have gotten up early again successfully to get the workout in before everybody else's day has started. Once again, it was easier than I thought it would be. But before we get to that, let's take 10 seconds all together at once and do 10 of something. Make it something that you like. 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats. Get up and walk around while you listen to this video. Something. Get up and do something because that's going to put you 10 steps, 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups closer to wherever it is you want to be. So let's take 10 seconds right now. There it is. You're done. See? That wasn't that bad. Comment below. I want to know what you did. Some people like to be pretty brutal and they come up with some new fun stuff. So if you got something unique that not too many people do, or something maybe a little bit more complex like a burpee or something like that that some people might not know, share it below. Maybe do a diagram or a link to a website. Spread the wealth. Confusing your body is the easiest way to fitness, right? So trying something new is always a fun way to keep things interesting and find out what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so this morning, got up a little early. The theme so far today has been inconvenience. And what I mean by that is, anytime you switch up your schedule, anytime you try something new, anytime you screw with what you've been doing for weeks or months or years, your body, your friends, your coworkers, somebody is always pushing back a little bit. People don't like change. So my body pushed back a little bit this morning, and I woke up about 25 minutes early with a little bit of GI discomfort and took care of that pretty quickly and ended up not being anything serious, but it was definitely a sign to me of my body saying, whoa, buddy, things are changing and I don't like it. But I got through that. I got in 3 miles easy, 24 minutes, a lot like yesterday. You know, what I'm finding after having done this for a few days is that the first half mile, it feels like I'm sprinting. The next 2 miles, it feels like I'm running the right pace. And then the last half mile or so, it feels like I'm fat, dumb, and slow, and that I'm sprinting even though I'm actually going very slow. And I'm like a hippo jogging. So all that's to say that I think I'm probably running the right pace. My heart rate ended around 150, give or take. I'm not wearing a monitor, so I just kind of, took it with the clock right after I finished, which is about 10 to 20 beats per minute slower than it has been the last 2 days. So I'm certainly more relaxed. I'm a little bit sore, but not really sore. Nothing serious, nothing that didn't loosen out after the first 10 minutes or so. And in the theme of inconvenience, I wanted to talk briefly about an article that I saw. And in all fairness, I have no idea how old it is. I'll link to it below. I saw it through a Did You Know page on Facebook, which talked about this Reddit article that this woman had anonymously written. The writer claims to be a 26-year-old female, and she was just wanting to kind of, I guess, reach out anonymously and check out if she was crazy, kind of do a sanity check. Is she crazy, or are her neighbors crazy? And her neighbors were complaining that she was getting up early in the morning to get her run in. And what they were claiming was that she was running past their house. She was, triggering their motion sensor lights, their floodlights on their garage or over their porch, triggering their dogs, and which would bark and then, wake up the whole house at, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And basically she was just like, I tried to be nice and say, hey, I'm sorry about that. They asked her to switch up her route, but there's really, basically she went through this litany, and you can read it below. I'll try and link it below. She went through this litany of things that she had tried to do to make reasonable accommodation for her neighbors. And nothing really worked. Nothing really worked. And I guess the lesson that I took away from that maybe I think that everyone else should take away from that, is that when you try something new, when you do something, you are going to inconvenience those around you. You're going to inconvenience your family, maybe. You're going to inconvenience your friends, your coworkers. You're going to inconvenience your neighbors. You're going to inconvenience yourself. And that's all part of it. And there's sort of a general rule that you're supposed to inconvenience yourself the most, and then it's supposed to sort of dissipate as it goes out away from you. That's why you see professional athletes always thanking their mamas and their dads and their wives and their kids and their families for support, because they know that their families are sacrificing a lot, almost as much as they are, and yet they don't get to win the gold medal. They don't get all that good stuff, all the good accolades. Nobody knows their name usually. So all that's to say, the best way to attack it is to be a happy warrior, to make reasonable accommodation for them, but to not, don't do anything to sacrifice your own success, right? I would never, if I was talking, if that woman was my friend, I would never say, well, then you need to just run in the evening, or you need to just run at night, or something like that, because that is a complete 180-degree switch from what she has acclimated herself to. And that being said, if she's not running across anybody's front yard and she's not intentionally antagonizing anyone's dog, then it's on you to change. It's on you as the neighbor to change what you've got to do to make reasonable accommodation to your neighbors too. Being a good neighbor goes both ways. So I'll link it below, read it below, maybe get a little bit of inspiration. If you're trying to get out in the mornings, at least you don't have your neighbors screaming at you and making it even more difficult. So there's one more excuse to not go that way. Today is January 3rd, 2020. It is my 4th anniversary with my beautiful wife, who has stuck with me over the last, God, it feels like a zillion years. Happy anniversary. I love you, and I appreciate you always being supportive of me. I know, like I mentioned in my first video a couple days ago, I have oscillated. She's been with me when I've been fat. She's been with me when I've been thin. And, I really appreciate that. And she's always been pretty supportive of everything that I've done. So I really appreciate that. And can't wait to see what this year brings. So with that, I'll close out this video. It's a little bit longer, but a lot's happened in the last 24 hours. One other thing that's happened is I broke 100 views, which in the grand scheme of Facebook is nothing. But it is 99 more views than I expected to get. So for that, I want to thank everybody. I've gotten a lot of really great feedback, and I sort of did this initially in sort of a kind of a selfish way to try to hold myself accountable. But now I'm seeing that there's a whole group of people, most of which I know and haven't talked to in a really long time, that have reached out to me to share with me their stories, whether it be when they ran in high school. Some people tell me that they ran in high school and I didn't even know that they ran distance in high school. So it's really helping me reconnect with a lot of people that I haven't talked to in a long time, and that is a huge positive. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, get up, get out, keep logging them, and we love hearing your training feedback below. So keep the comments coming. What did you do? What do you want to do? Where are you going? Let's keep the conversation going, because it's a lot easier to work out and train in groups. So let's try to put a group together here and help hold each other accountable, and maybe all ships will rise with the tide. So that being said, hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time.